I knew you.
Welcome to Overdrive AF, the official podcast of Overdrive Fitness. My name is Teddy Gerzon, and I'm joined by Gina Marie Gerzon.
I will not slurp. Hello.
As always with us, our special teams coordinator, Destroyer. And the slurp brought to you by our new roast, the Overdrive roast. No, I'm kidding. No, it's Black Rifle coffee, but Black Rifle is the bomb diggity.
But that would be amazing.
Hopefully, if we mention them enough, we'll actually get one.
Yeah.
Hey.
We can have the American roast would be a Titan roast, and then like the more darker espresso type, well, the Italian roast would be the Brajol.
There you go. That's your Sunday morning.
Yeah. Or after dinner, perfect with a cappuccino.
Digestivo. Your nightly digestivo.
Yeah. Top it off a little sambuca.
This is my mood, right?
Yeah, the Brajol roast will put you in that mood. So, it is fucking beautiful in New York. We're towards the end of April, and it's like 64 degrees outside, right?
Although when I got here this morning, it was 39 on my car. So,
yeah, it's definitely still got the Arctic chill early morning, but once the sun comes out, it's really nice.
Burns through, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be getting outside pretty soon with everybody, which is exciting.
And with this nice weather, yeah, we've been getting somewhat more outside, but I'm sure Destroyer's covered more miles in the sun. So give us an update on that, how everything's been going for you.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, this week it wasn't as many miles as I would have liked because there were a few rainy days and really cold and windy days this week.
True.
Yeah,
Quintessential Northeast spring, where like every other day is like below 20, and then after that it's 70 degrees. So far, just 12 miles.
Okay, but you got in workouts too. I saw it.
I made sure to get in a few lifting days.
Good.
This week, and I got a hike in as well yesterday. I'll get some more running in today and tomorrow. So.
Vitamin D action.
Yeah.
Which we love.
Yeah, it's hard to resist when the sun is out like this.
This is beautiful. Even though Mother Nature's still feeling a little bipolar.
Yeah. Still moody coming out of the seasonal affective kind of stuff.
Yeah. But, I mean, at least we're starting to turn the corner.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. This is...
Yeah, it's going to hit 80 next week.
Seriously?
Yeah, and then I think it's supposed to rain the first week of May.
Yeah.
So much for April showers, right?
Wow.
It's saying it's going to rain like 3 or 4 of the days of the first week of May from what I saw. So, whatever. At least it'll start to get warmer. Happy about that. Sky's out, thighs out.
Yeah.
They say thighs are the new buys, so I got a lot of skin I'll be showing this summer.
Clear eyes, thick thighs, can't lose.
Oh, hell yeah. That's actually my next tattoo. It'll be my man stamp.
You're not going on the thigh with that one?
No, it's going lower back.
Woo!
Little man stamp.
That's it.
So I can't wear jerseys anymore, so I got to put my name somewhere else.
Well, you just wear the low rise jeans and the half cut shirts, like, right?
They need to bring back the low rise jeans.
Yeah.
This high waisted jean look is god awful.
Hell no.
I don't know who decided to bring that shit back.
No.
They should have left that in the past.
No.
So, anyway, what else do we have an update on? How about you get any strength training in?
Yeah,
Yes, but you're at your lowest body fat.
Yeah, this week was a new low for
a new
body
record
fat.
low.
Nice. Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
I thought because I had stood at the last one for like a few weeks straight, so being able to hit that this week was pretty cool.
How did you feel with your macros and stuff this week? Did anything change, or were you able to get a little more protein in and stuff?
Yeah, I've been making sure to get in a lot more protein, cooking some chicken for myself to make sure that it's always in the house. So, yeah, been staying on top with that, and then, last week was very running heavy, so it made sense to get a lot of lifting in this
No,
week.
it's okay. It's a nice balance, you
Yeah.
know?
Feeling good.
Right?
Awesome.
Just in time for the sun.
Yeah.
Tank top season.
Perfect time.
And now that you're leaner, there's room for donuts. So would you like a Krispy Kreme donut?
I think I have to say yes.
All right.
Even though I've already had breakfast, I gotta go for it.
This isn't breakfast.
I figured it was only appropriate since
There's been so much talk of them on the show.
one of our members, Brian, decided to bring the dozen
Black
all
Brian.
the way from the city. Brian Victor
Yes. And
couldn't
these...
even train with us that day because he still had to work, but he came all the way, right, and dropped it off.
It's a drug. It's my drug.
Nice big
Titan
bites,
wants
guys.
in on
Of course. Papa's.
Mm.
You
So
donut?
fucking good.
Is it delicious?
Yeah, so this came from the Krispy Kreme in Times Square. But I'm happy to know that they opened one up even closer. Route 4 in Paramus.
Oh, is that, yeah.
Yeah, of course I would know that.
Keeping tabs, you have like a Google
Yeah.
Alert.
Yeah, I think they opened up like less than a month ago.
Only
So-
hour to take
oh,
our
right.
vaccine cards now.
Yeah. I
They
might
do
just
get-
move closer to there.
Right, that's one of their things that, right, is you show your card and you get a free donut.
Yeah. Smart.
Is there a limit on how many times you can go in and show your card or what?
Bring in friends cards.
He's like, I know I was here a few hours ago, but
Yeah.
So good. So,
are you slurping or no?
now I have to. Pressure's on.
Thank you, Brian.
No slurp.
Keep everybody fueled, you know.
Yeah.
We feed or not, we fit it in. Always.
So, speaking of staying fueled, and nutrition in a sense, right? What we're going to talk about today is prioritizing your goals for the off-season athlete, right? So, a lot of athletes will just kind of take a general approach to their off-season, right? So, like, let's say specifically college athletes, even high school athletes, right? School will be out soon for college athletes. They'll come home and they'll either attack their lifting packets or, in our case, they'll do whatever we program for them, right? Now, they'll take a general approach where they're like, all right, I got to get my lifting in, got to get my long distance running in so I can get in shape, right? But when you factor in vacations, maybe 8 weeks of the summer home, or some people are 12 or more, right? You want to be as efficient as possible, right? Because what athletes do at school is, like, as far as training, it's not even close to what they do when they're home with us. So we want to maximize that time so there isn't so much of a dip in whatever they've built in the off season. Now, in order to do that, every athlete needs to be very, I guess, self-aware is what I'm trying to say, right? You need to be able to assess your abilities, know what your strengths and weaknesses are, right? So if you're not starting on your team, then, you know, there's a lot of glaring flaws. There's reasons for that, right? And be honest with yourself. Don't just say it's because you're a fucking freshman and there's seniors in front of you. Like, if you were as good as you really thought you were, you'd be playing, okay? Now, why is that? So maybe you lack enough size. Maybe you're just not strong enough. Maybe you get knocked off balance a lot. Maybe you're too slow. Maybe you just don't have a general understanding of the game. Your IQ in that respected sport isn't that great, right? Whatever it is, you need to identify that and then start to prioritize it. So, you know, if speed is your biggest flaw, then getting faster as far as sprinting and being able to plant and cut should be your number one priority in the off season, okay? Which doesn't mean you only sprint once a week and then lift 4 to 5 days a week. That's not how you do it, right? Will strength training make you faster? Yes. when everything complements each other, right? So you have to kind of look at your max velocity days, even your acceleration days, as days almost as if those are lifting days. You treat them like they're very taxing to your central nervous system, which they are, right? So you're not going to do that every single day. Like, you're not going to squat 500 every single day, right? So you want to be smart. You want to be able to complement that. If you keep getting pulled off the field because you're not in great shape, and early on in your off season, we should attack your aerobic base, make that better, and then really start to create that repeat power. So high bursts of energy, but be able to repeat it over and over and over, not just running fucking 6 miles a day, right? It's not gonna make you a better sport athlete, team sport athlete. If your issue is size and strength, yes, we're going to prioritize lifting, right? Because most of the athletes that come in here that need size and strength are already fast, right? So we just have to make sure we don't make them slower, but instead keep their speed, their strength, but increase their overall strength, right? I mean, because if they, let's say they stay the same exact speed, right? And then we factor into momentum. So like we were talking about before the podcast, right? Tracking momentum is actually a great way to see an increase in performance, because momentum, P equals MV, right? If any of you nerds out there, MVP, that's the easiest way to remember momentum. So P is momentum, M is mass, V is velocity, mass times velocity, right? So it's simple. We already measured 10-yard flies in here. So we would convert that time into a 10-meter fly, right? So we can get into metrics. Unless, of course, we just want to use like foot-pounds instead of newtons, whatever. Anyway, that's your V, that's your velocity. Your M is the athlete's mass, right? So let's say they're always running a 0.96 10-yard fly, right? They run a 0.96 10-yard fly, but they start the summer at 150 pounds. Well, let's say at the end of the summer they're running a 0.96 10-yard fly, but now they weigh 180 pounds, right? That momentum, overall momentum, will have been increased simply by the fact that that athlete has gained that much more weight. Now, if that athlete plays a contact sport like football, who doesn't want more momentum, right? Even if it's women's lacrosse, where you're not allowed to hit, if you've ever watched a college or even high school women's lacrosse game, there is contact, all right? And you never want to be on the losing side of that. It's better to get the flag, to get the penalty for running through a girl than it is for you to be concussed and miss 2 weeks of play. Let's just put it that way. I mean, would you rather get hit or be hit? I mean, or do you want to hit or get hit? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it always comes down to that. But again, figure out where you are, what your strengths and weaknesses are. Keep your strengths, but really improve your weaknesses. All right? Don't sacrifice your speed to gain size. I mean, that happens a lot in here too. We'll get high school football players that come in fucking July. Like they'll take all of May and June off, come in July, after 4th of July, right? So let's say they go away for the 4th of July, and they may not be in here till like July 15th, July 20th. Doubles start 3rd week of August, so they have 1 month. I got to get bigger and faster
in 4 weeks.
by doubles. I'm like, so in 4 fucking weeks, right?
Yeah.
4 weeks. Even if we were to give you PEDs, that would be nearly impossible. There's going to be some drop off in something. So the size that you think you're putting on, when some of them like, I put on 15 pounds in the 4 weeks, you got fucking fat, bro. And you sacrificed your speed and your cardiac output for your stupidity. So know where you are, right? If let's say you have a limited time, getting faster is going to be a lot easier to cover in only 8 weeks as opposed to putting on size. So it's best to make sure you keep whatever size you have, even if you're small, but really focus on getting faster, because speed kills. I don't care what fucking sport it is, you always see the fastest people almost always dominate. And if they don't win, they definitely put up a fight. Even down to tennis, and you know that too.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So, like, I'm sure you've seen a lot of people that are really fast, but not great tennis players overall, not a lot of great tennis IQ. They'll be able to stay in matches.
Yeah, just being able to cover your ground.
Just being
back
an
and
athlete,
forth.
yeah. But, like, add some skill set to that, then that's dangerous, right?
Yeah.
Which is why, not to pick on anybody specifically, but you'll know who I'm talking about, you'll see some fat tennis players do very well because their tennis skill is so great, their IQ is really great. They make those fast kids run till they're dead without having to move themselves, right? So, yeah, you definitely want to be as well balanced as you can, but speed kills. So, now,
Totally agree.
prioritize, like, self-awareness, self-assessment, and prioritizing increasing your weaknesses over your strengths, but keeping your strengths. That doesn't just apply to athletes, it applies to adults too. Right? So how would we take that same approach when it comes to improving the health and fitness of our adults?
Well, we would want to prioritize their aerobic base, right? So we would want to prioritize the conditioning aspect, the cardiovascular aspect, different levels of that, because that allows for better recovery. It allows for you to recover faster even between your strength sets and your training sets, right?
Mm-hmm.
It strengthens the heart, the lungs, blood flow to the brain. It allows you to sleep better, which we know, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the research does show that good quality sleep is essential for recovery, rejuvenation, right? Tight end, wouldn't you say so? Are you in my audience now? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, we build off of that. And that ties so well into the nutrition aspect too. So, like, even when we program for our members, and in their app, and especially when they're working with us on their nutrition, they come in for both types of training. So we have 2 days of conditioning based classes, and then we have our other 4 days of strength based classes, which keep them moving in that 45 minutes. But our priority is always to even program some sort of cardiovascular outdoor activity or either extracurricular indoor activity here with us, on the rowers, on the bikes, on the treadmills, like, the Airdyne, the Air Runner, on the Concept 2. So they get both versions, and then along with prioritizing their sleep, good quality sleep, hydration, the types of foods that they're eating throughout the day, good quality choices. So
Mm-hmm.
whole foods, not so processed, fruits and vegetables, prioritizing lean meats, healthy fats, and good quality high fiber carbohydrates. Things that that you can actually feel and touch and pull out of the ground, and things like that. Things that are made more naturally without processing.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff. The things that actually give you energy. Your brain is filled with glucose. We actually need those carbohydrates for our brain and our muscles to function properly. And that allows all the good stuff to usher into the tissue. And, good quality, right? If we have clients who, like we were talking about before, that their doctors are telling them, look, you need to lose 50 pounds within the next several months, or you're going on high blood pressure medication, or we might need to get you on some sort of a pre-diabetic medication, or cholesterol meds, or variants of that, or combinations of those things, which is even scarier, where the majority of the population are sitting way too much, even more so now than they ever have before. Even the children too, the ones who even are athletes and aren't training right now, they need to prioritize their conditioning, their cardiovascular, and then incorporate their strength work, and balance those two things, work in combinations, depending on their goals, of course. But all in all, those three things are essential. Essential.
Yeah, so, like another example, right? So, like, let's say someone does need to lose 50 pounds, right? We've always been very pro strength training. Like, we've always been about making people as strong as they need to be or can be, right? Increasing muscle mass. And increasing your lean muscle mass will increase your metabolism, right? So it's one of the easiest ways to start making your body. I wouldn't even say work efficiently, because if working efficiently would mean that, if whatever energy you're putting into it, you're using exactly that. Like, we're trying to make your body work harder, like burn more,
Right.
need more energy.
At rest, yeah.
Yeah, so that you create that surplus. I mean, the deficit. Now, so what I'm getting at though is, if you needed to lose the 50 pounds, right? Yes, the strength training is going to be very important for you, especially if you're sedentary, because we do have to increase your skeletal muscle mass. But don't do it at the sake of not doing any cardio. Like, even if it's 2 10-minute walks a day. I mean, a week. Even,
Which
right?
that
So
in itself is resistance based, because you're moving your body weight, right?
yeah, especially
That-
for some people that are really heavy.
Exactly. And that will, in a sense, help them build more lean mass, build more skeletal muscle mass initially, just because of the weight difference, the body weight difference. So just getting yourself moving is huge, and increasing that basal metabolic rate. So how many calories your body burns at rest. That starts everything off. And then from there we could build off of that. Because you in turn allow yourself to feel more energized. You have more energy throughout the day. Your body becomes like a well-oiled machine, so much more efficient. Who doesn't want that?
I want another donut.
No, I know. That's why I figured it was, most appropriate to eat on camera.
Mm-hmm.
And, but you're not giving them a full experience. You're not chewing loudly enough, and you're not speaking with your mouth full. And I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, maybe it's because I'm really enjoying the situation.
There you go. That's better. Like the smell-o-vision, like
I just
wanna interactive, like.
I can't imagine a life without dogs and Krispy Kreme.
Hey, well, it's the little things,
Mhm. Ain't that right, Titan and Brejol?
I think they're feeling dejected that they didn't get to.
They did have their dental bone today and a treat. So it was mint, by the way.
Nice. So, to wrap it up, when you're about to start a training and nutrition plan, right, figure out exactly what you need to work on. Create a deadline, right? Because anything without a deadline is just a fucking dream, all right? So create a deadline. So there's a plan of attack. There's certain metrics that need to be reached over the course of time, and execute it, right? It's really that simple, right? The hardest part is actually just, for most people, knowing where they are. Like, if you're fat, you're fat. Just say it. Just know that you're fat, but don't beat yourself up for it. Just know, like, all right, I'm here. I'm 5'8", 240 pounds, and I'm only 38 years old. Accept that, but also tell yourself, before I'm 39, I won't be over 200 pounds. And just own that. Show up every day, execute. Even if all you have to do for that one day is a 20-minute walk, you kill that 20-minute walk. All right?
Be purposeful.
Exactly.
I mean, like, if you wake up in the morning and as you're getting dressed, your waist circumference is larger than your hip circumference, then there's a problem. Right? Wouldn't you say so?
Mm-hmm.
That's huge. And we know that waist circumference, that larger waist circumference, is from all of the research and data that's what gears people up for the heart attacks, the strokes, the cardiovascular disease, the diabetes, and everything else.
Diabetes.
As you eat your second Krispy Kreme donut.
Second on camera. I may not have had two before I showed up today.
But it's important, right? Balance. And, creating a plan. Being honest with yourself in regards to what your weaknesses are or your setbacks are or whatever the case. Athlete or not, because as adults, I think most of us were athletes at one time, if not still are. And I'm sure most of us have that very competitive nature. It's a very primitive but healthy attribute, and that's what drives us and keeps us motivated and consistent and determined, I think. So use that and allow yourself to build off of those two components: your cardiovascular, your conditioning base, and then add in, depending on what, again, your goals are, because you can't ever take away from the fact that purposeful strength training does wonders for your body composition. Wonders. For your bones, for your ligaments, for your tendons. Oh my God. So many wonderful things. It changes you from the inside out, you know? You could be, as a female, say, 145 pounds with 35% body fat, and you could be 145 pounds with 20% body fat. That's a totally different person with totally different focus, obviously, with many issues and probably illnesses, disease, and lack of disease, illness, very healthy. That is sleeping 7 to 8 hours a night restfully, instead of that same person on the left, that 145 pounds of 35% body fat, that's waking up in the middle of the night, munching on things, maybe just not sleeping through the evening and restfully. So that's huge. And waking up exhausted, going to bed exhausted, waking up exhausted, instead of going to bed maybe tired but waking up feeling rested and energized, ready to conquer the day. So it's two totally different scenarios. That who would you rather be?
So yeah, that about wraps up this week's episode of Overdrive AF. Prioritize your goals, right? Prioritize your needs and goals, and then start to attack them. All right. There will be an update to the basketball hoop being placed at Overdrive Fitness. So maybe you'll see a video soon of me and Desi playing maybe a truncated version of horse, probably pig or ox, depending on the time we have available. And stay tuned next week for another episode of Overdrive AF.
Plug the new hat and.
Oh, okay. So the link we have a new brim hat, black brim hat with the logo on it. That's being sold on our online store through Starprint. Okay, so that link is currently live in in my personal bio for Instagram, but it will be soon on OD Fitness NY. So you guys will see that. It's up there. I may have already ordered 5. I'm kidding. I ordered 3, but yeah.
Did you order me one or no?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So I ordered one for me and one for the dogs each. I didn't get you one.
Oh, shut up! You're just lying.
Yeah.
Although they would look very cute in it.
Of course.
They'll have to be the models when they finally get.
There you go.
Nice. We could do that. Yeah, he knows we're talking about.
Titan. He's like, oh hell yeah.
So yeah, check out the OD Fitness NY Instagram account, and you'll see the link for the black brim hats that we made them because there's obviously a big demand for them here. It's a big dad move, so there's a lot of dads in here that they couldn't wait for that to be thrown onto the online store. All right, so anything else we got to add this week?
And then we're designing the I Built Me Overdrive tank top.
That's actually live right now.
Oh, you finished it? Oh,
yeah,
God.
so that link will be sent out to all our female members, weekday warriors and athletes, and you can start rocking and strutting your shit this summer. All right? Mm-hmm. So that's it for this week's episode of Overdrive AF. We'll catch you guys on the flip side.